home cinema and tech review. In this video, I'm sorry about the voice. I'll try to enhance it with the software. I didn't have the microphone with me. This is the weekend, my free time. I just came out to the studio. Hardwares are everywhere and I don't want to use the professional equipment. My general action camera is enough for this with my smartphones. Basically, in this video, we're going to compare the Mozart 1 and the X5. This is probably one of the best asked questions, and I will give you the short answers in the beginning of the video, and you're going to see the setup, how they reflect the image, and you're going to get a close-up. And this video will be 4K, so you can pinch in and zoom in to see the details. So my conclusion is Mozart 1 has better speaker, X5 has better brightness. Mozart 1 tend to have little softer image compared to X5. Mozart 1 is giving better dynamic range in many of the situations, and you're going to witness that. X5, on the other hand, has more brightness and capable to focus bigger images. Maybe it's about my copy. My Mozart 1 wasn't even able to focus after 110 inch. It's getting softer. So for the autofocus, with the X5, you can clearly make 150 image. Although I don't recommend for this brightness levels that much of a big size, but basically you can go big, and that power output difference really helps the X5 to create bigger images. But for the standard picture quality, it is looking a little bit of over sharpened, and you're going to see it in the picture's edges, somehow like there is a glow with the digital sharpness of it. For the Mozart 1, it has a better base, and if you have watched my entire video, this device is little bassy. So if you want all-in-one, let's just say lifestyle projector with the sound setup, you don't want to use anything, no clutter, no soundbar, no external speaker, no headphones, the Mozart 1 is the way to go. But if you have dedicated speakers and you want to create a cinema, bigger picture, then X5 could be your choice. And it's also about your taste. Like I showed you, probably you'll see it, like I will show you in the later section of the video probably, but I want to make it clear. This device is a little sharper with digitalized image quality. So when you're looking far away for a bigger picture, this looks good. But when you're up close for 100 inch and smaller sizes, Mozart 1 looks better and way better, if you ask me, for the colors and tones, for the standard mode. Can you tune the X5? Yes, you can. This has closed optical elements, so dust proof. This doesn't have that. So if you have a dusty place, or if you can't clean, maybe you're living alone, you can't clean too much. So if the dust is an issue, then stick with the Mozart 1. If you're caring too much about the brightness, if I remember the numbers correctly, you're going to see them in the screen. I made dedicated video for both of these projectors. So this one, if I remember correctly, in reality 457, maybe 460 plus something. So it's about 500. This is about 560 and above, if I remember correctly. So I might be telling the numbers wrong. You're going to see the exact numbers from my reviews. I will take the numbers here. So probably the light output difference is about 15%, up top like 20, up top again, as long as I remember. So you're going to see the numbers, you can check it. Those numbers matters, because when you go big, you want a little bit of punch of things, or at least you want to go sizes like about 100. X5 might help you along the way, because bigger you go, more light you need. Again, it's a reference. Throw ratio. Mozart 1 is way shorter than the X5. Again, if you have a small room, dedicated small room, and you want to create a bigger picture in a small size, this is the way to go. So you're gaining some and losing some, because price difference is not extremely huge. When we're thinking about the, licensing issues, Mozart 1 regular version doesn't have license, but if you buy Mozart 1 Pro, and I haven't tested yet, then you'll get your license like Netflix and Amazon Prime and the proper Google licensing. So basically this is giving you a default Android experience, quite a bit of autofocus. X5 has a lot more faster autofocus in my tests at least, and my copies, because not every product would be exactly the same, even though they are coming out from same factory with the similar quality control, environment. But basically, you might have differentiations. From my perspective, if you're going to project over 100-inch sizes, X5 is the way to go because brighter and focus better for bigger picture. If you're going to use it for more, cinematic approach with a small room setup, with shorter throw ratio, Mozart 1 is the way to go. Speaker has a lot more bass than the X5. I'm not saying X5 is bad, you probably heard it. X5 speakers are quite good considering the regular, expensive Full HD, non-smart, known projectors like BenQ and Epson regular models, okay? I'm talking about similar price level models. This is beating them up. But basically, if you want bass and everything included, you can watch movies with explosions with Mozart 1. So this is lighter projector, this is heavier. If you're going to, not extremely lighter, heavier, but this is heavier. If you're going to take the projector and put it inside of a cabinet and take it out if you have kids, or if you don't want to get it to be, dusted. So this is, I think, easier to hide, like small places like shelves, or because it's thinner. And also you can put it inside of a cabinet, maybe open up a small cabinet. This is thicker and longer. But one of the things is, these two projectors, I will create a dedicated video. They are both projecting 50% angle, which means they are projecting from center angle, just like I'm looking at you. If I project like this, some of the image will go below, some of the image will go higher, right? Just like a triangle around here. But many of the projectors in the market is starting from zero angle. Bottom is straight, they project like this. So if you reverse them, you don't need to pull them down because they are not projecting 50%. One side is flat, the other side is a white triangle. And I will create a dedicated video for that. So, why I'm talking about this for those two projectors. I put the X5 on its own box with this side on because it is more ground level than the Mozart 1. So if you're going to use this projector, if you don't have something to place it on, like a bookshelf or custom shelf or anything, if you're going to put them in the same height, this will be quite lower. And the image, if you go larger, will be quite lower than the Mozart 1. That's another fact. So the placement also makes something a big deal for choosing a projector, at least for me. If you're going to go big, this height issues is going to be happening. But one other thing is, this uses a power cable of PC power cable style, and X5 is using a small 2-pin cable like electric cables that you can find anywhere, and it's probably a lot less expensive than the Mozart 1 PC style cable. So if you want to extend the cable for a long way, you can find cheaper cables for X5. So it's up to you. Build quality, plastic quality, Mozart 1 feels a little bit better. And when you see this and touch this and hear it and see it moving when the bass is happening, probably you will go to Mozart 1. And up top, you got a light, like the Wanbo logo is, flashing out. So you will definitely choose this over this. But it's up to you what you're going to be choosing. It's about the taste, not just about the picture quality. And the latency of these two products, kind of like the high for gamers. But in my first detailed review, it was too late. I measured it wrong. One digit was missing in my chronometer. One Mozart 1 is around 50 milliseconds range, and the X5 is about 100 and plus, and you're going to see the numbers on the screen. But I heard on the forums, and a lot of people are commenting at my videos, especially for my X5 review, this has probably got a better firmware update, and it will be probably a lot less and gaming compatible, low latency levels like around, 15 or something. So I will check that and write in the comment sections of this video, and if I find it, you will probably be reading this inside of the screen. But I haven't tested that beta firmware for the X5. But again, if you're watching movies, latency is not an issue to talk about. More of the picture quality, throw ratio, overall sound will be important. And when it comes down to the fan noise, X5 is a little louder. Since it's more brighter, it needs to cool a little bit more. And of course, Mozart One has a bigger design and probably has a bigger fan inside. Bigger fan makes less noise with the same amount of airflow. So it's up to you which one you would like to choose. For the dust proofing, again, Mozart One, using with a filter, if you can keep it clean, X5. Which one do I choose personally? Well, for my scenario, I like big picture. And I like to go above 120. And at least 120. For 120, Mozart One is getting a little softer. X5, even though digitally enhanced sharpness with a lot more brighter image, X5 could be my choice because I use dedicated Bluetooth speakers or headphones for my Xbox. But if you are going to use it with internal speakers, then the Mozart One is the way to go. So it's up to you what you are going to choose. In the upcoming videos, I will create another compare video. If you're going to think about DaVinci One and probably some of these projectors too, I will do another side-by-side if I can. Sorry about the voice. I know it's a little bit of echoey. I will try to edit it in the post later on. But if you learn anything from this video, you can continue through the rest, see the pictures, see the quality in real time. I will be commenting through those video sections so you can clearly see what the picture difference is in the standard mode. And you're going to get all my opinions like I shared in this stage, but in the physical quality and how they perform section. So hope to see you in the next video. I wish you don't skip any parts and watch this video until the end because it supports the channel. And if you learn anything, just hit likes and thumbs up, subscribe would be great. Commenting under the videos support the channel quite well. And when you support the channel with comments and subscriptions and likes, I'll get more sponsors to send me more projectors. I will create honest opinion videos because I don't need any money and I'm just doing this as a hobby. And I'm trying to teach what I know over the probably 20 years of experience with photography and electronics. I'm still creating content for different brands. So I hope to see you in the next video. Home cinema and tech review. Bye. In this section of the video, we're going to be looking at two projectors, how they placed. This image is 133 centimeters for both of them. I need to do this size because I don't want to move the clutter around the studio for a huge screen. Basically, the screen size is the same, but the brightness of the X5 is obviously better in different scenes. Although the menu is not the same, I'm going to create another section. Since the remote control is same, I can control both of these projectors in the same time, but the menus are not identical, so I need to find my way out. Maybe I will open up one YouTube and then close the other projector like a standby mode and get back to you guys playing the same footage. But right now what you can see is same picture. X5 is kind of like a 1 or 2 projector on the front. So throw ratio, Mozart One for a small room wins. But about the brightness, X5, we're going to take a look at by going close up to the screen. For the sharpness and overall image quality, of course, it depends on what kind of copy you got, like from each product. But we're going to be taking a look at the picture quality by playing one of the sharpest videos on YouTube by side, and you'll get a clear idea, and I'm going to comment while I shoot that video. So I just want you to see the throw ratio and how bright the X5 is. Look at this and X5, Mozart One, X5. The difference might be in theoretical and my ANSI lumen measurements like 15 to 20%. You're going to see the values on the screen while I talk about probably in the conclusion, but that difference really makes a difference. I want you to see how I test things, and we're going to dive deep directly to the test. And you've probably seen the throw ratio difference, but in this section I'm going to close the lights with a fixed exposure of the camera. My voice could be going lower and more echoed since I don't have a microphone in this footage, but in the beginning of the video, both of them are in the standard mode, and obviously X5 is brighter, but Mozart 1 on the left feels like a more realistic power. I will stop the camera like in a position with the fixated tripod settings, and I'm going to right now adding my tripod, fixating the camera angle just for you guys, and this is, I think, the realistic angle just like you probably watched. So right now I've closed all the lights and I'm sometimes shouting, but directly I'm going to get close to the images, both of them projecting internally of their own setup. Mozart one feels like a more realistic color for a ground color like soil, but this feels like a little bit reddish in the standard mode. So the settings are not the same for default. Both of them, again, I'm repeating, in the standard mode. I'm not pushing anything. X5 seems like external added digital sharpness to its taste, and the Mozart one feels like more tuned up, like a pro level product. I'm not saying these are professional projectors for the price range. And digital sharpening effect, I will get the camera close, we can get an age glow. I will take the camera out just for you to see. I will go back and forth inside of this section, but this is the Mozart 1, as you can see it, okay? There is no edge glow around the end of the video, and the video looks a little bit of softer, like a cinema version of the high-end projectors, tuned up well. This is a reddish color, and look up top, okay? Even though there might be a little bit of, automatic image correction, this glow is continuing all around the image normally. You might not see the old way, but I want to show you the obvious way. So X5 is good from a distance, sharper, and that will create bigger picture, might be sharper from a distance, since you can't really look at a bigger picture in an up-close setup. So when if you ask me how I feel about it, Mozart 1 feels a little bit more realistic. So I will hit mouse buttons in the same time because the remote control is the same, and we're going to hit it in the same time, hide the mouse icons, and I will drop down the volume so I can talk better because both of them have speakers. The contrast is good. X5 is kind of like a giving better contrast in this scene for the blacks, and interestingly Mozart 1 is glowing a little more, and in this section X5 a little bit more successful. For this set part you can obviously say X5 is much brighter compared to the Mozart 1. I'm trying to dial in general. In this scene again they look similar. X5 feels a little sharper again, but this is a painty image, and if I can stop here, I can stop. Okay, I'm going to go back with the remote control since they are the same. Okay, so stopping here is a good point. Which one is the sharpest? Obviously X5. Digitally added probably sharpness. The Mozart one feels a little soft, but colors are more realistic. This is reddish. So if you want to tune your colors, X5 is the way to go. If you want a brighter image, take a look at how the brightness works. And is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Like the dynamic range, I think this is more successful for toning. For the background, you can clearly see here, X5 much more, but the Mozart one just tones it down so you can concentrate the frog more than a background. The cameraman and the operator intended to shot like this instead of that. And also we are seeing, I guess, a little bit more realistic colors again here, but overall sharpness, if you want to pick up, you can tune the X5 with a better looking if you tune it up. But again, it's up to you, and a little bit of sharpness right now for the camera settings makes things a little bit more overexposed. Let me dial down a little bit for the camera So I dialed down to my ISO settings, and as you can see, we got captured the real colors and nothing is right now overexposed. Which one do you prefer? Write the comment section below. I probably prefer Mozart 1 and the toning, but if you're a casual user and like the punchy images, you can tune up the X5. It's up to you. And I'm going to continue playing from the remote control, hit the play icon, and I'm going to go back and forth in this section. So in this section, again, I'm going to stop it. Remote control makes things easy in this stage. I'm going to take the camera. So obviously, on the right, we got, again, a color effect. On the right, X5. On the left, we got a proper black tabletop. So in this shot, clearly, Mozart 1 creates a better dynamic range on the peppers, as you can see, the highlights. On the right, we got more highlights, and I think little bit looking overexposed maybe to you for the camera, but not just the camera. X5 is giving overexposed image for my eye too. So dynamic range, again, better with the Mozart 1, but it's a kind of like a taste of things. For the sharpness, wood definitely sharps on the X5, sharper on the X5, but would you like that too much? I think it's for gaming purposes, maybe general watching it could be, but tonality, I would prefer Mozart 1 in general use. So continue. We messed it up, so I'm going to stop it here. Let's take a look at 111. I need to make them perfectly clear. Okay. The other one is coming. Again, I think we catch enough quality level. I know I put a lot of things to the menus. Let's hit back. Shit. That happens. So we need to go back again. I'm going to stop this scene. Sorry about this, but I'm doing real time as much as I can, and these things are getting difficult. So 1 minute 46, it says, let's hit the 1 minute 46. I'm not going to touch in the rest of the video. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. So 1 minute. I think we're getting there. Closer. 40, 43, 44, 45. Yep. 47. So I'm going to hit play both of them in the same time and wait for the mouses to disappear. So it'll take some time, but basically X5 wins in this stage. Things much more looking brighter. Let's take a look. X5 again looks a little bit sharper, and Mozart 1 cannot give same black levels. Interesting. For some footages, X5 really responds better than the Mozart 1. But overall, somehow, even with a little bit softer image, Mozart 1 feels more realistic and more correctly exposed or more toned. So again, in this scene, looks similar. Since the focus is auto, I'm going to get the camera closer to you. This is, again, 4K footage, so you can compare better in this shot. So more detail because of the extreme sharpness of digitally add maybe X5. Again, X5 looks a little bit synthetic in this shot, maybe over sharpened, but for this shot it suits well. So it's also depends on what kind of movies and games you want to play and watch, but colors basically shift up to the reddish tones with the X5. I know this section is getting longer, but in this video this is a good footage, gives a lot of examples. So you can clearly see one to another. Let's wait a while. Wait a while. And again, this is not realistic. Too reddish. That is realistic for Mozart 1. Well, until now, Mozart 1 got the text done, like probably better overall. But again, it's about the taste. For example, for this shot, these coffee beans looks extremely sharper and tones are red. It suits, but this feels more realistic, a little bit softer, but looking better overall. And also the blacks here are not better than the Mozart 1. Mozart 1 is giving better blacks. In this section, this area feels synthetic. This feels sharpness in reality. Tones might change to your taste, so I'm not talking about that. But the balloons or air bubbles are looking sharper. So it's about the close-ups, it's about the details. But if I ever want to watch a movie, which one do I prefer? If you got the budget, Mozart 1 with a better speaker probably. So you will get the full conclusion in the other parts. This part is just to show you physical. For this section, X5 is extremely sharper and it doesn't feel somehow not right. But this section, thin lines, X5 feels much more sharper, but it's kind of like lacking for the same footage. I'm not checking the drop frames of these devices, I don't have too much of a time, but basically, generally, both of them playing very capable Full HD 60p. For this section, let's wait a while, X5 wins, much more sharper. So it's like a game style, vivid color effect. Still watching. Very interesting shot. I don't know why they do that, but it looks interesting. Again, you'll be happy with the contrast with both of them. Somehow I got some sort of a light effect here. Probably coming from, let's just see, from Mozart 1. Yes, it's coming from Mozart 1. Interestingly, I got a little bit of light glow here. You might not see it, but this section is over. I think it gives enough ideas.